Welcome everyone to the Network and Cloud Security Admin course. So this is the first session today, and we are going to start with the intro to what SASE is. So let's just get into that. What is SASE? So one important point about SASE is that it is all in one security and networking. So SASE is the security, the next gen cloud delivered security that brings together the networking and security, right? So think about it as a security guard that also helps you find your way, right? So this is how it is different compared to other security controls like endpoint security or email security and so on. And then it provides access anywhere from any location. And to do that, this technology needs to be delivered from the cloud. So this is a cloud-based technology. You won't need a lot of on-site hardware. So this is how like the transition to Microsoft 365 happened from like the on-prem Exchange servers and all that. Now the same thing is happening with the security, like moving your on-prem firewalls and other security appliances to the cloud. And it also delivers enhanced security because it has zero trust security controls, and also because it's a integrated networking and security. So there are not many blind spots when you have the silos of networking and security. And if it is done right, it's supposed to make life easier for the MSPs. So we are going to learn more about SASE, but in these training sessions, we will be hands-on. So let's see what is in our training. So this is the first course that we are offering in this fourth quarter, but there will be more courses. So we expect there will be like 3 hours per quarter investment from the participants. So there will be courses in the first quarter of next year and so on, like about 3 hours per quarter is about a 1 hour per month investment of your time into that. So this course consists of 5 sessions of 30 minutes each, and then there will be a quiz at the end. And today's session is going to focus on more the intro to the SASE overall use cases and getting into the MSP portal, like hands-on. So if you have not signed into your MSP portal, right now is the good time to sign in because some of the things that we are going to do over here, we like you to also do hands-on in your MSP portal to make this learning experience a lasting one. And then if you have questions more about the policy implementation, because this is this security that works anywhere, but it has a single policy. Like you just define one policy in the cloud, it applies to your sites, to users, your mobile devices, and all that. Right? There'll be a session on zero trust secure private access and all about the PSA integration and alerts and the mobile security. So if you have more detailed questions around that, hold on to those because there will be sessions focused on those areas. So today I'll be doing most of the talking, but I also have Omanath Lanka with me. He leads our engineering, and Rama Reddy, who is our chief cloud architect. So we have all the like experts on this call. So if you have any questions, please ask in Q&A. Just put those questions, and our team will be happy to answer those questions along the way. So let's look at how this today's session is going to look like. So this is more focused on the getting into why SASE is crucial for modern network security, some use cases, and then more the hands-on into the MSP portal. So the idea is if there's a simple deployment for your customer, simple client deployment, can you onboard your client in like 30 minutes? Like that's what today's session is, 30 minutes. Can we have this deployment for a simpler deployment? Of course, more complex deployments needs more time, but at least the simple deployment, can we do it in 30 minutes? So we will be doing that during this course, and you can also reproduce that in your environment as well. And a lot of the things I'll be giving references to the XM Academy document. I mean, this is a great resource. I think once you get into there, you can do search and all that. You will find a lot of good resources there. So this is the big picture slide. I think some of you who are already using Axiom, you know Axiom offers a lot more than SASE, but this training is focused on SASE, so we are going to ignore the last line over here, some of the other security controls that Axiom offers. And also, we are not going to focus too much on modern workplace security, which is the firewall replacement, SD-WAN, and all that. That will come in later courses. So this course is more about SASE, like two use cases are secure internet access and secure private access. So let's just focus on those two and see what they mean. So SASE, as you know, it is connecting the hybrid work to the hybrid infrastructure. So the move to hybrid infrastructure happened pre-COVID, like things were moving to the cloud and there were some on-prem resources, data centers. So even the current world looks like hybrid, like even though things are moving to the cloud and some of the customers are even moving back to on-prem due to the sticker shock of the public cloud. So we expect the world on the right side is going to stay in a hybrid, right? And the world on the left side is also going to stay hybrid. Like with COVID, just the remote work accelerated, but now many companies have mandate back to the office, as you know, but this remote work is going to stick around. So it's going to be hybrid world. We are going to have sites, offices, people are going to go there, but there's going to be still a lot of remote work. So this is the world we live in. This is where SASE comes into play, right? It is basically uh, stitching hybrid work to hybrid infrastructure, like securely how you can access the resources on the right side from the left side. It doesn't matter you at home or at a coffee shop or in your office. And to do that, you have to have deliver it from the cloud. So in the center, we are showing our cyber mesh. We have cyber nodes globally, and we have about 30 regions in the US. Since this expect user experience, our presence is more than Azure, AWS, or Google combined, or even Oracle. You can look at how many regions they have in the US, and then you look at how many Axiom has. It's just we need to be near to you because everything is tunneled to the mesh. All your security enforcement and controls happens in the mesh before you can access anything on the right. So this is the central. So this is the security guard that also shows you the way, right? It's not only like protecting you, but it's also showing you where, if you want to access, for example, RDP, where your traffic needs to be directed. Like it's making all the routing decisions while keeping everything secure. Like so, this is what SASE is. So it is a network security. It's not just like securing the endpoints. It is like today's endpoint is useless. I mean, when there's no network connectivity, as we know, right? So you cannot just do the air gapping that, oh, I'm not going to talk to the internet, and this is how I'm going to be secure. Like you have to talk to the other things. And on the internet, as you know, like there is more malicious traffic today than there is legitimate traffic on the internet, as we know, right? So there are a lot of threats out there. How you can securely reach to the resources you want to reach and the apps you want to use and so on. So this is the bigger overview, but two use cases. So we are going to focus on this green line, which is secure internet access. So basically you put an agent on the endpoint, and so mesh is going to do all your web filter, like your DNS security, your URL and web categories control. It will have all the threat feeds. If a threat happens in, say, South Africa, like our threat intel knows that, and it start enforcing it. Like if same, like a malicious domain or that website your users try to access. So since it's a cloud based, even the threat intel and all that updates are much faster than, for example, doing that on-prem. And then secure private access is zero trust remote access. That is your replacement for your VPN. So you see where the purple lines are going. Like it's so secure internet access is more about your web and SaaS security. This green line coming over here, and secure private access is your securing your private resources. They can be at a location like in an office, or they can be in a data center, or they can be in public cloud like Azure. Okay, I think this way, these are the two things we are going to focus on. This is the big picture of SASE. Now let's get into the portal. Uh, so Axiom has a what we call multi-tier, multi-tenant platform. So what we mean from that, like what is multi-tier and multi-tenant? Let me just see if I can bring the other. So this really means that there are, of course, multi-tenant, you have multiple clients and all that. You are an MSP over here. Like, so you can onboard multiple clients into that if we just look at the later part of that. But the multi-tier means there can be multi-tiers. So we have also very large MSPs who have like, they are more like a master MSPs, and they have other MSPs as their partners. Like, so if you are at this level, you will see you can even onboard other MSPs, and then you can have a global view over here. Like you can, the same, your MSP portal will look like now master MSP portal and all that. And there are almost unlimited number of these tiers that you can create, right? So what I'm going to be at this level, so I'm going to be at the MSP level right now. So because most of you are at this level, so this is the portal you will see. This is the global view, as you can see. And here you will see all your companies and clients, how many subscriptions your clients are using, how many users there are, how many remote devices. And remote devices are more than the users, because some users are using more than one device. They may be using on their Windows and as well as on their mobile phone, for example. How many sites you have. Internal devices are really the devices that are on sites, and policies and other things. So this gives you a global view. This is across all your clients. So this is like if you come in the morning, you look at this dashboard, you will be able to get an idea like what is going on for your clients and so on. And there's more like alerts and things. So we will cover those in the sessions later, but not today. But so this is your global view over here. Then let's go to the, if I just, so there are a number of things I can do over here. Like, so let's go to the settings over here. So what type of settings I can do? First, you can upload your logo. Like I have this logo that's appearing over here. So I can customize this, not only this portal, but later you can also, what your clients are going to see. Like you can, there are multiple places there you can customize this thing, and we will go over that. And here, I think for a lot of MSPs, they keep it default, but some, if you want to change anything, I mean, if you have your own privacy policy as MSP, you want to override what Axiom has, you can put in over here. And the support email, where the email goes, like the support email, you can put your own email and your support page, and if you have your own terms, you can customize a lot of the things over here. Like, so this is yeah, it may or may not be needed. Many MSPs just keep as it is. And in some cases, we also see MSPs, they want to use their own email server. So right now, there are a lot of these notifications that go out. Like you have, if you're using XM servers, you have seen those. But if you want to use your own, you can specify your mail server. And similarly, I can do the single sign-on and MFA integrations over here. So these are the partner level, your MSP level integrations. And this is different when you have the clients. Each clients have their own, for example, Azure AD tenant, and you will do another integration at that level. But if you want to sign into your MSP portal, because this is the place where there's a lot of sensitive information, and for your technicians and other, you want to enforce MFA, and so on. With your single sign-on, you can do that integration over here. If you have, for example, Azure, you can do that. If you have, yeah, so this is where you will do that. And this is the custom page that this is again, I'm still at the MSP level, not at the client level. So if I upload a logo over here, when a splash page is going to show up to the clients, this is the logo that will show up on the splash page. But I can go into the client workspace and override this logo. Like if the client want to see their logo when their users get to websites blocked and so on, then you can upload that logo. We will see that there as well. And then let's continue. This we can skip. As I said, this is a multi-tier. I can onboard a new partner over here as well. So let's go over the users. This is where your users will be. So this is the users for your MSP, like your technicians and admins over here. So whoever is going to manage the MSP portal and the clients from here. But you can, here as an example, we are all admins because this is our test workspace, but you can define the roles over here. Two main roles we see: the admin. Admin gives you full access, but there's a read-only mode. In some cases, you may need to add a user. Sometimes your clients are going to ask that to their workspace, not to your MSP portal, like to their workspace, they want access. Like the IT admin at your client want to see, for example, which users are online and the dashboards and all that, then you may give them a read-only access. So they cannot make changes, they cannot do any damage, but they can still see the information over here. But you can be very granular because you will have multiple clients. You can define a role, for example, your own role. You can see like a technician level 2 or whatever you like to call it, and then see what access they get. Like you can also pick, for example, they can only view companies, and you can be very specific, like the partners and other things. So you see there are a lot of knobs for these role-based access control. You can create your own roles, then can allocate to your MSP technicians and so on. And we have a full session on alerts and zero trust policies. We will cover those over there. And you will have the events over here. Let's see the admin events. What is happening? Like this is for compliance and keeping track of things. Like if, for example, somebody goes in there, they make certain changes, they add or delete anything, everything is logged here. So you can come back to that and see what is happening in this portal, for example. And then you can see your subscriptions over here as well, like how many users and sites you have, and the usage, how many subscriptions are used. So this is across all your clients, right? So this gives you a big picture, like what is happening, how many licenses. Like I'm not using any SaaS Essentials. I'm using 315 out of my 912 SASE Pro licenses, and so on. So this gives you a global view across your client base, like how many subscriptions you have active and what type of subscription those are. Okay, so this is more about the portal at this level. We will come back to this in more detail in the following sessions. But let's now go into the client workspace. I think since we have only 10 minutes left, let's go to companies. So this is where you will, if you have your PSA integration like ConnectWise, you can import your clients from there. Like, and with a single click, you can activate Axiom for them. Like all their information, your customer information will be imported over here. And you can, if it's a Autotask, Hello PSA, there are a number of PSAs Axiom integrate with. In my case, since it is ConnectWise integration, it's only showing ConnectWise companies over here. Like, but if I want to create a new workspace, I'll just create over here. Like, I mean, I can give it a name, like this is, let me just see, training session 1 or something, and it's already primary email. I will select mine and 200. And this is another thing, preferred server. Like, so this is and everywhere there are document links, as you can see. If I click over here, you see there's a link like so. If I live in Dallas, I'll do maybe, for me, the choice is very simple. I'll pick a node in Dallas. But if you live somewhere like maybe in Austin, Austin is not showing over here, you may want to do a test like to some of these servers and where you get the lowest latency and so on. For me, like Dallas is the one. Speeds are not going to be that great because I'm on my Wi-Fi. So let's yeah, so you once I serve, for example, I want Dallas, I select that. That's the only thing you need to know, like, and then create workspace. Like, so I'm in. So now it is going to create a workspace. So this is what you are going to do when you are going to onboard a new customer. As I said, if you are importing that customer from a PSA, then it's a single click activation. It will still ask you to pick the preferred server and so on, but all the information will be there. Like if you have some contract information, billing, and so on, all those references will be linked in from the integration over here, right? So we let this workspace getting created, and so the next step will be how we do the deployment. So my session one is on, and this is where you go into the client workspace. So once you are logged into your MSP portal, you can go to your client works, any of these, by clicking this, for example, the first icon. Let me go into my client portal. You see there's nothing much over here right now. Everything is zero, and I want to populate it. So I'm onboarding a new client. So let me onboard a few users over here. Like if I go to, I'm just going to so there are a number of ways I can import users. Like I can manually add users, or I can upload a CSV file, or I do an Azure AD integration. I can import all the users and groups. Very, very simple, right? But for today's session, we are just going to, I'm not going to even manually add a user over here. I'm just going to do a device-based deployment. I take that script. And if you are in your MSP portal and at this stage, you may try same thing that I'm doing it. And if you run into any issues, please ask the questions. So you will push this script. So if you look at this script, I can put it in the notepad. It will have my secret tokens and everything, but it is fine because I'm going to delete this workspace after this training. So this is how you see I have the token, my workspace name, session one I created, and a number of other things. So this is my script. I can push through RMM, or in PowerShell, I can just run it over here. So it will take a number of minutes, the installation and everything, and and you can push if a device-based method is the simplest method. So let's go while this is running to the deployment methods. So this is the simplest method. Even user will be created automatically, and if your client has 100 devices or users, you just push one script one time. Right? It's very, very simple. Others are more like if you want to authenticate users when they connect to Axiom with like your single sign-on, like Azure AD, yeah, any single sign-on that you integrate over here. Like you see, there are single sign-on integrations here. Like it's the same methods available, assuming I did Azure AD integration, right? So then if I pick single sign-on method, then I will have to authenticate through Azure AD before my client can even connect. And then the user-based, similar for Mac, Axiom support all different platforms, Linux as well, your iOS, Android, Chromebook is very similar to Android. So all the instructions are there. Right. So these are different methods. In maybe in the following training sessions, will cover more. Some are more complex, like the single sign-on, because this requires that when I deploy single sign-on based method, it will put the app on the user's desktop, and then they double click on it, and they have to authenticate. Only then client get activated. Like, but the device-based is completely silent. Like there's no user interaction required. You just push it through RMM, and you can make it always on. So there are a number of settings that you can control so that it is always connected and always on. And those settings, if I go to settings, I should be able to see those settings. Like over here under advanced, if I say no user controls, yeah, so and then it will be completely silent. I say auto reconnect to yes, like, and then it means even somebody disconnect this client, it will reconnect automatically. So it is going to be um, always on and silent. So yeah, okay, you see, like I push the client to my device, it already found my username, fcon, my device name, and all that. It is connected now, like since we push this client, right? And how I know I'm secure now, like, so we have a document over here that tells you if I, for example, go over here, yeah, let me see, maybe my certificate is not updated, but it should bring up a splash page when, for example, I try to go to that site. But other way in the same document is I can also check, for example, my NS lookup, and let's see. Yeah, whenever you do NS lookup and you have a .100 DNS server, that means this is Axiom's DNS server now. So this tells me that I'm connected and secured by Axiom. If I do it to whatever I was trying to do, okay, maybe some issue with that, but yeah, so we can even try. Let me see how much time a certain policy and so on. So we haven't gotten to the policies, but let's go to some zero trust policies. Web categories I can activate, and then we can see if it's going to. Yeah, I don't know much about the car websites. I don't know if cars.com is there or not. Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay, I blocked auto as a category. As you see, I just try to go to one of the sites that belong to that category, and it is blocked. So this is the splash page that shows up, like so. And if you can customize the logo and all that. So the idea is, if, for example, I had a client with 100 users, I would have pushed that script to 100 users, and my 100 users would have been shown up. They would have all been secured by the SASE security controls. In roughly like 30 minutes, we can do that. Okay, I think with this one, I don't know if there were any
There is a
questions.
question, huh? Yeah, there is a question from Francisco.
Okay, that is a great question. Can we route? Yeah, so let's go to the. So if I go to zero trust policy, there's this section on traffic steering.
You're not
Right?
sharing screen now for it?
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. So I just went to the client workspace and clicked on the zero trust policies and traffic steering. Like, so this is where you see the default mode it gave me when I created this workspace is the intelligent traffic routing. So that means everything will be inspected. It doesn't matter where you are globally, even though I selected Dallas as my server. You know, when I created this workspace, I selected Dallas as the server, but this traffic will still be inspected, but it will be routed locally in that case. But I can also force it like a conditional access. As soon as I do that, if I pick this mode, now it is different. Like this is, I got a now public IP over here. So this is my egress IP. So this is my, in a way, a dedicated IP. And this is the IP, this is our subnet in Dallas, right? Now this IP is in Dallas. If I pick conditional access and you want to, for example, whitelist this IP at Microsoft 365 and other places, then my traffic will be routed through Dallas, right? And if I'm in Thailand, it will be routed from here so that I can access my Microsoft 365 tenant, because my Microsoft tenant is not going to allow any other IP than this one. But now you are going to say it's going to affect user performance, right? But with the conditional access, the great thing is what I can do is I add a app. I say only Microsoft 365, force that, right? And then I pick a app. I pick a Microsoft like this. So now only your Microsoft 365 traffic, all traffic will be routed through Dallas, but the all everything else will still be routed locally for to deliver the best user experience. But if I pick tunnel all traffic, now you are making this choice. By the time I do this, it says use caution. We don't recommend it. But if you want, now if I pick this mode, all my traffic is going to be routed through Dallas. So there's a lot of these knobs you can turn on to match the use case for your clients, balancing the security and user experience.